not sure that there was a better environment anywhere in college basketball tonight than in Auburn, Alabama. It was as loud as I've ever heard the building. Both teams played really hard. I don't think either team played particularly well, but you can't fault the effort. Kentucky did a lot of things to disrupt us. They did a lot of switching because their bigs are long and athletic and guard in the perimeter, and their guards are big enough, and we're not big enough to take advantage of on the inside. And so that really disrupted them. It disrupted us. Kentucky is one of the better field goal percentage defensive teams from three because of their length. So we missed shots, but a lot of our shots, were challenged. Then the difference in the game came down to Anthony McLemore and Deshaun Murray at 6'7" and 6'3", just controlled the paint for the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game. Whether it was blocking shots or getting rebounds or, and Kentucky had some balls that kind of went in and went out. And it was something. Our conditioning, our toughness, our resilience, our grit. It's why we won the game. They're both unique weapons. I mean, Anthony's a 6'7" shot blocking 3-point shooter. They play center. That's a tough matchup. Deshaun's a 6'3" power forward that he's as good a rebounder for size that has ever played at Auburn since Barkley. He is for his size. And I do think that our kids do rely on each other. They do trust each other, and they count on each other. They challenge each other, and those are the things that led us to victory tonight.
When you're dominating you in the paint for the first 32 minutes, and that's as big a disparity in the paint as you've had all season. And beyond what they did defensively, Anthony and Deshaun, offensively, your best shooters had taken threes with 8 minutes left to go in the second half. Bryce hits a couple. You hadn't really been penetrating much of the hoop very well. Then all of a sudden, Jared and Mustafa are getting to the hoop with success. What shifted in the final 8 minutes offensively?
Well, we were screening the help a little bit, which opened up some driving lanes, and Kentucky was changing defenses. A switching man-to-man and a zone, they act a lot alike, but it's hard to play call. It's hard to do a lot of what we do, and so getting Bryce the ball wasn't as easy. But we put him in some ball screens, and he turned some corners, and he made some shots. And I thought the big factor was we got stops. The fact they didn't score the last 5 minutes of the game was the difference in the game.
Now, they had struggled, Bruce, or they have, in late game situations all season. I wonder if that's just a product of age or lack of age, or is it something you can seize on?
I would say it was more, again, what we did, Jared, Bryce, offensively, getting the foul line, and then just the work that we did in the paint. The rebounding. Mustafa had 4 defensive rebounds in the second half. They were all crucial. And with Deshaun and Anthony getting the double-double, so that was a factor for us.
Bryce, he said he originally wasn't going to go this morning. I thought he might not. How did the day unfold for you? I was surprised when he was able to find
Yeah. I want to give Clark Pearson, our trainer, a great deal of credit for getting Bryce ready. I want to give Bryce a lot of credit because this morning he wasn't sure he could play. And so after his morning treatment, I said, all right, come on in and visit in the office. I said, let's look at this decision and let's see what it looks like on either end. First, you're not going to play. A couple things. First of all, there was no risk of further injury for Bryce if he played. His issue was movement, not that he would do anything to it to risk injury, so that was not going to happen. But Bryce was having a hard time moving, especially shooting, and so, but it was his decision. I said, number one, who's going to guard Alexander? Because he's the best we got, and number two, you could play in this game and not score, and we could still win if you could just get out there and guard. And he didn't want. And again, I said, how do you think your teammates will feel if you don't play? He said they won't be as confident. They'd be concerned about us defensively. I said, all right, then what you got to? Okay, now let's. You've decided to play. What's that? What are the positives? Well, we can beat Kentucky. It doesn't matter what my scoring average is. My teammates are going to really respect me for giving everything. I said, Bryce, and then if you get started and you can't go, you can't go. But all week long, he was not a distraction. He just wasn't. It wasn't about him. It was about the team. And so I give Bryce a lot of credit.
Bruce, how good is Kentucky, and how are they an NCAA team, and what kind of splash could they make?
They're a dangerous team. I mean, Alexander's as good in ball screen as there is, and we do a great job with our ball screen defense. I mean, they stopped running ball screen for him because we kept turning him over, but he's terrific. Their biggest weakness is they don't shoot the three ball as well, and they're limited in their playmakers and the number of guys who can make plays for others. But they're an NCAA tournament team, and they're definitely a team that can advance.
Everything you just said about Bryce Brown, I hate to single out one player, but do you win tonight without him being on the floor?
I don't think so. No, and I told him that beforehand. I don't think we win tonight without him. Look, we're already down to 9. We're down to 9. He gets us down to 8. And then if one of the freshmen maybe is not playing well, or we get in foul trouble, that's the thing about this team that's been so remarkable. We go to Georgia with 8 guys, and Deshaun gets full body clamps in the second half, and we got 7 guys. Georgia beat Florida tonight at Florida. This league is something else. You got to bring it every night, every single night. I told you weeks ago, we're good enough to beat everybody on our schedule, and we could lose to every team on our schedule.
Coach, you talked about the environment. About 10 minutes left. You had that look like, and all of a sudden they got it going. How much did the crowd turn this game in the last 10 minutes?
That's probably a great question for Kentucky. I mean, they play in a lot of loud buildings. This is about as loud as it gets. This is as hot an environment as there is. This is as hot a ticket as there is in the SEC. I mean, you can't buy them. And our students are just having so much fun, and our players are responding. So no, there's no question that the environment helped us. But that's still the reason why we were seated so high is because we've won 10 times away from home. So while we have a great home court advantage, we can take the show on the road.
Bruce, Kentucky's lost 4 in a row, which for them is a historic losing streak. How do you think that can play on a player's mind? How could it affect things to have everybody in a near panic?
Well, they shouldn't panic because they got great kids, they got great coaching staff, and like us, just take them one at a time. Who's on the schedule next?
Alabama.
Just got to get ready for Alabama. You might root for Kentucky against Alabama. Is that a possibility? And that's all you got to do. They do not need to panic.
What does it mean for this league that it's not just one team rising up and giving Kentucky joy? It's a lot of teams right now.
It's good to see Eric. I remember telling Mr. Sly when I got to Tennessee that we talked about the league, and I said, Mike, what made the ACC wasn't Duke and North Carolina. It was when Gary Williams was at Maryland, or Bobby Crimmins was at Georgia Tech, or Wake and Timmy Duncan made their run, and you could point to all those teams, and that's what makes this league so good. And I've also said, bottom to top, this is the best league in the country. I don't know if we're the best league in the country at the top, because if we're at the top, I'm not sure. I'm telling you, though, bottom to top, it is great. And last year, South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky, they got it started with 3 teams in the Elite 8.
Bruce, what does it say about Anthony to have this kind of performance against a team like Kentucky with that size and that athleticism?
Anthony's just unique. He's a unique player. He's, how many 1,600 4.0s can shoot the 3-ball and block shots like that? He's just a unique guy. And he's confident, and he was a matchup problem for them. And we were able to run some ball screen stuff. They switched it. I stuck him out there in a corner. We rolled people down, and we found him a couple times. A better coach would have found him more than I found him. But we needed that. And then I just thought the way he patrolled the paint and with our defense. Zone wasn't good in the first half. It carried us in the second half. We played a lot of zone late because we couldn't match up. I mean, one-on-one, they could take you to the basket. I mean, they were killing us one-on-one. Put the zone in there, saw more bodies, and got some stops. This is, for our standpoint, the fact that the last 35 times Auburn's played Kentucky, 33 of those times Kentucky's won. So what I talked to the team about was how many of our former players really didn't have a good chance to beat Kentucky because we either weren't as good or they were so good. There was the outcome wasn't in doubt. The question was what was the margin going to be? I said, let's win this one for all those Lettermen that played for Auburn, because I guarantee you those guys all over the country are feeling pretty good about their team right now.
Did you say something to Mustafa in terms of going at Knox because he was matched up with him but didn't attack him prior to the last 5 minutes of the game?
Yep. We don't play isolation basketball. We play team basketball. And so, for me, Mustafa's 4 rebounds, those were game-winning plays. His getting to the rim, huge. He missed a couple free throws that he typically makes. And I probably got to do a better job of getting him shots.
Bruce, are you at all surprised you just beat Kentucky by 10?
Yeah, I'm a little bit, surprised because their defense bothered us. We didn't shoot it very well. And I thought there were stretches. I thought Kentucky was playing pretty well. I thought they shot it a little better. They got it inside a little bit better. Knox had it going. But, Jeff, we've been doing this all year long like this. Just at some point, Jared or Bryce hits a couple shots. But it was the last 5 or 6 minutes defense when we were clearly getting stopped and making plays to win a basketball game. And we've done it all year. That's what we've done all year long. I don't know when it's going to happen. And I'll tell you what, our guys in a huddle, we were challenging each other a little bit, but we didn't panic. So we just got to build on this. We got to go to South Carolina now, and those guys just lost by 3 to Tennessee. They play hard, they play physically, and they smashed us there last year. I think the other thing that's big significant is this: Jeff Goodman's in the house from ESPN, Laura Rutledge. The fact that PJ Carlissimo and Dockich called the game, it's big for us because those guys are going to leave here. They're going to leave here, and this is not what they were expecting. They weren't expecting this environment. They had to get on the floor to see how big or small we were, and we showed them something tonight, even though it wasn't our best game. Thanks, guys.